Hello, this is Roger. Thanks for dropping by. A quick update on my Dendrobium harveyanum. This one came out for a little trip with me last night to the Bournemouth Orchid Society, which I'm a member of. It was our first meeting this year. Destined for the section of the plants table, which is for looking at. We divide our plants table up into three sections. We've got a viewing section. This is for plants that are of interest to everybody else, or people think so. It's non-competitive. It also includes plants that don't qualify for the competition tables, like plants you haven't owned for a year and various other things. Anyway, that's where I was going to put it, and then I thought, well, actually it's not a bad flower spike. The plant's in pretty good condition. I'll stick it in the competition table. Basically that gets divided into two sections. There's an open section which is mainly for beginners and people who perhaps haven't got that many plants and don't bring them in very often. And then there's the expert section. You can get pushed into there if you're not careful. If you win 3 firsts on the open table in a given year, you get forced into the expert section, and these people are experts. Anyway, I set the old plant up and stood back and admired some of the other people's plants, and as I turned round and looked at the door, I saw the winner walk in. It wasn't open to debate. Basically, the guy was carrying a mount. He was hiding behind it. I only recognised him because of his shoes and his trousers, because he wears the same ones all the time. But basically, he was carrying Laelia anceps. The mount was probably 1/2 metre across by at least 1/3 of a metre high. The plant filled it. I counted up later, it had more than 40 bulbs on it. It had 9 flower spikes. The guy himself, good friend, is actually an RHS qualified judge. He knew that was the winner as soon as he walked in. So my little plant was sort of sitting there in the background, as far as I was concerned, without a hope. After the judging and the sort of points were actually awarded, the points are basically 40 points per plant. 20 is for the culture and the well-being of the plant, and 20 is for the flowering. So you can have an absolutely brilliantly flowering plant that doesn't do very well in the competition because it's not culturally correct. You know, it's got manky leaves and brown bits and sawn off canes and things. So anyway, it got to the points, and lo and behold, this little plant got 3rd place. I was surprised, but the real surprise was it actually got 34 points. The winner only got 36. It was only 2 points away from that Laelia anceps. So well done, little harveyanum. Anyway, it came home safely despite the gales and the pouring rain, and it's back at home. A success story. Now let's have a failure story. I remember mentioning some sad looking deces not that long ago. Here are reasonable looking deces. The sad deces were in there. They have ceased to be. They are ex-deces. This is what an ex-decer looks like. That was the last one to succumb. Basically, it's rotted off at the point of contact with the ground. Now, as most people who do gardening and bring up seeds in seed trays and stuff like that, there's an expression called damping off. That's exactly what this little beastie has succumbed to. It's damped off. It's basically rotted somewhere between its tuber and the bit that sticks up above the ground. But as a member of an orchid society and having a good decer grower, several actually, I thought I'd ask. And basically, I didn't get round to asking before the actual talk started. And the guy doing the talk is our terrestrial and hardy orchids expert. And he went round the world talking about the various ones and this, that and the other, and eventually ended up in South Africa where decers were included. He told us all about how he grows them, what he grows them in, and then he mentioned the reason why this is sitting here and not in its pot. Air circulation. And yes, I've got lovely circulating fans, and they run during the daytime. And what happens at night? Temperature drops down, air circulation fans go off, humidity level rises with the drop in temperature. This is not good for our little Deesers, and this is the consequence. I will probably get some more because I now know what I'm doing wrong. The solution is nothing more than a relatively small fan down in the area where I'm going to grow them and just run it 24/7 and keep the air circulating. Simple really, but it's only simple once you know. And I doubt if I'd have ever found that out if I hadn't gone to that meeting last night. So there you are. Go out and join your local society. Hopefully you've got one nearby. They are a wealth of information and expertise. I think we've got 4 or 5 RHS judges in amongst our membership. Anyway, a wealth of information. So a success story, followed by a failure story, followed by a solution. Thanks for dropping by. See you again next time.